Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Wednesday's lunchtime media and community operational briefing regarding Dubbo Regional Council's overall response to the COVID-19 pandemic. My name is Andrew Parsons, Manager of Dubbo Regional Council's Media and Communications. Joining me today for today's briefing is Chief Superintendent Stephen Hirst, Area Commander Fire Rescue New South Wales, and Inspector Paul Stevens from New South Wales Police Force. We'll hear from both of those gentlemen later on in the presentation. As of 10:30 a.m. today, Dubbo Regional Council was advised that the number of confirmed cases of COVID-19 throughout the Western New South Wales Local Health District remains at 44. Of those, 6 are located in the Dubbo Regional Council area, and 18 of those people have recovered from COVID-19, and they are in the Western New South Wales Local Health District. Since early March, most Australians have been practising social distancing, and certainly over the past few weeks out here in the Central West, the message has begun to resonate with all of us. Keep your distance and keep yourself safe. While you might be seeing some news stories about the rates of infection slowing or less infections being reported each day, this isn't the green light to take your foot off the brake when it comes to social distancing or any other hygiene measures that we're all being asked to follow. We are very much still in a fight to slow and stop the spread of coronavirus. No one in the health profession or the government is suggesting that now is the time to ease up on social distancing. In fact, far from it. Our region's parks and open spaces remain closed. The play and exercise equipment in those parks is closed. Those parks and recreation spaces with gates are closed and locked, and many of our amenities are also closed. There are now signs in place to let you know what areas in these parks are closed, and we're asking each and every one of you to follow the instructions on those signs for your safety and the safety of others. If you're out and about for exercise, an activity that is deemed a reasonable excuse to be outside of your home under the public health order, we ask that you keep observing and practising social distancing. Don't put yourself in a position where you can be infected or where you could infect others. Of the confirmed 2,686 cases of COVID-19 in the state of New South Wales, 406 infections that have been locally acquired cannot be traced back to the point of origin. So this need for social distancing is very real. It's not just a city thing, it's an everywhere thing. I mentioned the public health order. In effect, this order means that you must stay at home unless you are going to work, going to school or another educational institution, shopping for food and essentials, getting medical care or supplies, or doing exercise. As I mentioned last week, there are provisions where you may only leave the home with a reasonable excuse under the order. However, one of those is not going to the rubbish tip. We understand that with so many people now housebound, that list of things to do at home is translating to, and in some cases piling up as, rubbish for the tip. Under the Emergency New South Wales pandemic laws enforceable by New South Wales Police, a trip to the tip is not a reasonable excuse. Deciding to make that little run to the tip under the current New South Wales law could see anyone failing to comply with the order face a maximum penalty of 6 months imprisonment or a fine of up to $11,000 or both. Instead, we ask that you sit tight and hang on to any of those unwanted items that cannot be correctly disposed of through your normal household waste, recycling or organic bin collection services, so just hang on to them. And we're also asking residents to please keep in mind that waste left on the curbside or dumped where it shouldn't be is illegal, and offenders can also be fined. For a load of rubbish, it really isn't worth the risk, and we suggest finding a suitable corner in the shed, the garage, the spare room or a store area in your home to put these unwanted bits and pieces for responsible disposal when it's safe to do so. We really don't want you to be fined. There's enough drama going on out there as it is, and Council's waste services will still be here when the pandemic ends. So let's just hold off for a little while, wait for the pandemic to pass, and when it's safe to do so, we can get rid of all of those items. That's there for your safety and the safety of our staff and the safety of others. You will have heard both the Premier and the Prime Minister tell us to rethink our Easter plans, more to the point, to stay home. What concerns both the government and health officials is the undoing of all the good work being done by the community to limit and slow the spread of COVID-19. Certainly here in the Dubbo Regional Council, we're echoing those messages from our state and federal leaders and our health professionals by asking you all to stay at home during Easter. Limit your travel and movements to what is essential only. And as the New South Wales Police Commissioner Mick Fuller said yesterday about people ignoring the order and taking that road trip, he said, quote, "If you've got the whole family with you and a caravan on the back, you might get a $1,000 ticket." If you are coming to the region and had plans for Easter, the Dubbo region's Great Big Adventure Pass, the multi-pass to some of our big attractions in the region, has been pulled off from the market because of the tourism closures and travel restrictions. However, council staff have been working with industry to waive the expiry date on already purchased tickets and contact those who have already purchased tickets, and we're going to welcome those back with open arms once this pandemic is over. With all the region's libraries having temporarily closed their doors due to COVID-19, I still wanted to give a bit of a shout out to all the terrific library staff who are doing great work to keep the community connected, informed and entertained during these challenging times. With all the current restrictions, why not consider making Macquarie Regional Library's 24/7 online library service a part of your COVID-19 plan while you're at home? The Macquarie Regional Library's vast range of online resources are a great way to get entertained from the comfort of your home and bring the library to your living room. Access educational e-books, e-magazines and e-audiobooks. Story times and films are only a click away, and the library members can download a range of digital content direct to their mobile devices, to their tablets, anywhere at any time. And every Wednesday at 11 a.m, we recommend visiting the Macquarie Library's Facebook page to enjoy stories at home, a perfect way to see Easter through. In times like this, I don't think you can underestimate the value or the use and great resources offered by our libraries. So to find out more and join, you can visit www.mrl.nsw.gov.au, or you can call the library on 6801 4510. Now, our frontline emergency services are very much at the pointy end of this pandemic emergency, and for that we are all extremely appreciative and grateful for what they do. One service that might not be highly visible during this pandemic emergency is Fire Rescue New South Wales, but they are there 24/7 and they have been kept quite busy as a result of more of us being at home for work or self-isolation during COVID-19. In fact, during the month of March this year, there were nearly 170 house fires in New South Wales. For one in 5 of those house fires, there was no working smoke alarm in the premises, and these fires resulted in numerous injuries. So to take us through how to better protect ourselves as we all bunker down at home against COVID-19, a person who has nearly 2/3 of New South Wales in his command, Chief Superintendent Stephen Hirst, Fire Rescue New South Wales, Region West Commander. Thank you.
Thank you, Andrew, and good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to say it's business as usual for Fire Rescue New South Wales, but unfortunately at the moment it's business as unusual. What's that look like? Well, I'd like everyone to rest assured that firefighters throughout New South Wales are ready and available to respond to fires, hazardous materials incidents and rescues as required. We are still a 24/7 emergency service. What's that look like now? It has changed our environment. We are no longer going to social or community events. No one is, of course, through New South Wales and Australia. We're not doing school visits, nor are we throwing our station doors open for the general public to come in as we normally do. We're not antisocial, we're looking at social distancing. Behind the scenes, our firefighters are cleaning their station houses, their fire engines, to ensure their safety and their well-being, so then in turn they can protect you and the people of New South Wales. We are there to protect the irreplaceable. As Andrew alluded to, we're entering our winter season. Historically, we see 1,200 residential house fires happen per year in winter. This is mainly, the point of origin of these fires is in the kitchen area from people not attending their cooking. I implore you, please, keep looking when cooking. If you bring clothing in to dry during the colder seasons, please keep those clothes a metre from the heater. Ensure your clothes dryer lint filter is checked and cleaned regularly. These testing times have people working from home. Do not overload your electrical power boards with electrical devices. If you have a wood heater, Ensure it is in good working condition, both the firebox and the fireplace. I implore you also to have a home fire escape plan and regularly do this with your children. If you do have a fire in a room of a house, ensure everyone is out, and if it's safe to do so, close the door on that fire. Exit the building with all occupants and in a safe position, ring 000. Do not, I repeat, please do not re-enter that building. My main fire safety point today is only a correctly fitted working smoke alarm may save your life. Thank you very much.
Thank you for that, Stephen. Now, we don't have media in the room with us due to social distancing, but I am going to ask if we have any members of the media online with us at the moment. Doesn't sound like we do. We did ask them to call in to ask any questions. But I do have Inspector Paul Stevens from New South Wales Police here who might like to actually go through some of the key messaging the police would like us to follow during the Easter period, and certainly any more information that police would like to share with the community. Thank you, Paul.
Good afternoon, everyone. As Easter and the school holidays approach, we understand that families might want to come together to celebrate the period. Unfortunately, this can't happen this year. Communities across regional New South Wales and the rest of the state are trying to adapt to new rules and guidelines as we work to slow the spread of COVID-19, and we all have to do our part. The New South Wales Premier and the New South Wales Health Minister have outlined orders under the Public Health Act that state a person must not leave their home without a reasonable excuse. That doesn't mean we're trying to stop people from going to the supermarket or the pharmacy, or going to and from work, or going to medical appointments, or leaving for some brief exercise in their own area. But recreational travel is not a reasonable excuse. Travel and holidays are not essential at this time. Holidays throughout the state are not on that list of exemptions. To help contain and slow the spread of COVID-19, we all have to work together, and that means staying in our homes and our neighbourhoods for the time being. We have to do this to protect our smaller communities too. An influx of visitors could put their health systems under pressure, whilst potentially transferring the virus from one part of the state to another. While brief fishing trips from home are considered exercise, as long as they maintain the two-person limit, fishing and camping holidays are not. Please don't think if you pack up your fishing gear and camping or hunting gear this Easter or school break and travel into country New South Wales that you're doing it legally. You are not. The inclusion of fishing and golf as allowable recreation is about people who can access that activity locally. You cannot use fishing or golf as an excuse to travel on a holiday or to a usual country retreat. The key message here is people should not travel unless it is absolutely necessary to do so and covered by an exemption. We are asking people to understand that staying inside your own community and that with your own family is the safest option. Police will be patrolling roads and conducting high visibility policing operations during this period. Along with traffic law enforcement, those officers will also be targeting unnecessary travel. Thank you very much.
So that pretty much brings to a close Wednesday's briefing. I'd like to thank both Chief Superintendent Stephen Hirst and Inspector Paul Stevens who joined us today. And we also thank, again, the entire community for their patience and understanding during this crisis. We will get through this, it will come to an end, and we're going to keep doing the right things to keep ourselves safe, and we need to keep doing them for as long as it takes to get through this. We're in it together, and Council is here to play our role to help the community through this. It's a partnership, and we've each got our part to do. I'd like to, as always, thank our wonderful Auslan interpreters, and Susanna joins us today from the Deaf Society, and I'd like to wish you all a great Easter despite the challenges. Keep looking after yourself and your household. Keep your distances, keep your good hygiene practices going, and more importantly, keep you cool and keep your sense of humour. And we'll have a chat to you again next Wednesday. Thank you. Paul, you happy with that? Yeah. No, that's great. I appreciate that. That's fantastic. Your folders.